Almost 2 years ago, on November 15th, 2022, former President Donald Trump officially declared himself to be a candidate for president again.
I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. He doesn't mind seeing reporters get shot. That would be fun for him.
I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. He doesn't mind seeing reporters get shot. That would be fun for him. There's no magic involved. It's heads or tails. At the end of this, the pollsters who are wrong will quietly disappear. The other ones will be like, I told you, 1%.
What do Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Kamala Harris have in common? They're all part of the Rebel Alliance fighting against the dark side of American politics. And no, we're not talking about a new Star Wars movie. Jimmy Kimmel's breaking down the latest in election news, and it's looking more like a Hollywood blockbuster every day. From celebrity endorsements to Trump's Darth Vader-esque threats, this video's got it all. Want to see how deep the political rabbit hole goes? Strap in, cause we're going for a wild ride. Well folks, Trump's been on the campaign trail again, and it's been about as subtle as a sledgehammer to a china shop. Our favorite orange turd decided to grace California with his presence, and boy, did he put on a show. At his rally, Donnie Diapers went full dictator mode, talking about liberating American towns like he's some kind of freedom fighter in an action movie. Maybe he's been binge watching too many war flicks on his gold-plated TV. He painted this wild picture of the US as some kind of occupied country. What's next, Trump? Red Dawn, MAGA edition? But wait, it gets better. Grumpy Trumpy kept yapping about enemies within. Apparently he thinks half the country is out to get him.
People keep asking me, what do you know? What are you hearing? I don't hear anything. I don't know anything. No one does. Not even the people who say they do. They don't know anything. I click one story, it says Harris is ahead in Iowa by 3 points. Next one says Trump's winning Iowa by 10 points. This is not a leap. There are only two choices. You have a 50% chance of being right. It's not like you picked the trifecta at the Belmont Stakes.
Paranoid much? It's like he's playing a game of political Clue, but instead of Colonel Mustard in the library with a candlestick, it's Sleepy Joe in the White House with a voting booth. And just when you thought it couldn't get any nuttier, Trump suggested using the military against Americans, because nothing says democracy like threatening your own citizens, right? It's like he's trying to make The Purge a reality show. Coming soon to Fox News, America's Next Top Dictator, starring Donald J. Trump.
On election night eve, I hope everyone enjoyed their extra hour of night terrors last night. There's no magic involved. It's heads or tails. At the end of this, the pollsters who are wrong will quietly disappear. The other ones will be like, I told you, 1%. We set the clocks back yesterday. Just what this election season needed, an extra hour.
The scary part is, Trump's rhetoric is getting more extreme and dangerous by the day. He's sounding less like a presidential candidate and more like a wannabe dictator with bad hair and a spray tan. It's like he's auditioning for the role of supreme leader in some dystopian blockbuster. But hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because Donnie Diapers wasn't done yet. He had some choice words for our border situation too. Apparently in Trump's world, the southern border is less secure than his toupee in a windstorm. He probably thinks we need a wall so high it'll keep out those pesky Space Force aliens he's been hearing about. So there you have it, another day, another Trump rally that sounds like it was written by a bunch of monkeys on typewriters. If you thought this was nuts, just wait till you hear what came out of his mouth next. It's like a never-ending game of what will Trump say next. And trust me, the prize isn't worth winning. Hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because while Trump was busy playing dictator, a bombshell dropped that's juicier than a well-done steak with ketchup. What if I told you Trump's best friend for a decade was none other than Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah, that Epstein, and boy does he have some tales to tell. So while Grumpy Trumpy was out there ranting about enemies and liberation, this little nugget of info slipped under the radar. Turns out Jeffrey Epstein, you know, the guy who makes your creepy uncle look like a saint, claimed he was Trump's bestie for a whole decade. Talk about keeping bad company, huh?
Which is fine, by the way. Let him be president of Iowa. She can run the rest of the country. Almost 2 years ago, on November 15th, 2022, former President Donald Trump officially declared himself to be a candidate for president again. What did you tell us? You called 800 losers who didn't have enough sense to not answer an unknown call. That's all you did.
And the stories this guy's spilling, let's just say they make grab him by the pussy look like a nursery rhyme. Apparently our dear orange turd had a thing for his pals' wives. I guess when you're a star, they let you do it, right? It's like he was playing some twisted game of wife swap MAGA edition. But wait, it gets better. Even Epstein, the king of creeps himself, said Trump had no moral compass. That's like the Joker calling Batman unhinged. When a guy who's basically the poster child for worst human being ever says you've got no morals, maybe it's time to rethink your life choices, Donnie. And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, there's apparently a photo floating around of Trump with a suspicious stain on his pants. Maybe he got too excited about those beautiful tax cuts? Or perhaps it was just a ketchup accident from his well-done steak. Either way, it's not a good look for the guy who wants to be the leader of the free world. Again, now you'd think this kind of dirt would be political kryptonite, right?
We are now 1 day away from having to wait another week to find out who won the election. But we let these polls dictate whether we feel like throwing up or not. It's dumb. We're dumb. And now, 720 days, 88 criminal charges, 34 felony convictions, 4 indictments, 2 Democratic opponents, and 1 garbage truck later, here we are. The results of the polls on Family Feud are more scientific than...
Wrong. Trump's supporters don't seem fazed at all. It's like they're wearing MAGA-colored glasses that filter out all the sleaze. Remember when politicians used to resign over way less? Like that time Mitt Romney got flack for putting his dog on the car roof. Now, being besties with a convicted offender is just another Tuesday in Trump Town. But hey, why let a little thing like morality get in the way of a good election? It's not like we need our leaders to have, you know, ethics or anything. Who needs integrity when you've got a red hat and a catchy slogan, right? So there you have it, folks. Trump's gone from drain the swamp to throw a pool party in it.
Being harmed or anything else. It was about threats against him that were spurred on by dangerous rhetoric from Democrats.
And I have this piece of glass here. But all we have really over here is the fake news, right? I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. He doesn't mind seeing reporters get shot. That would be fun for him. In fact, President Trump was stating that the media was in danger in that they were protecting him and therefore were in great danger themselves and should have had a glass protective shield also.
Maybe it's time we flush this whole circus down the political toilet and start fresh. But then again, where would we get our daily dose of political insanity? Well, folks, we've reached the end of this political roller coaster, and what a wild ride it's been. Trump's gone from promising to drain the swamp to basically threatening to set the whole country on fire. Talk about a plot twist. Maybe it's time we flush this orange turd down the political toilet once and for all. I mean, when 66.8% of eligible voters showed up in 2020, it was like America collectively decided to give democracy a big ol' bear hug. Why stop now? So remember, the choice is yours. Democracy or Grumpy Trumpy's excellent dictatorship adventure. And let's face it, the sequel to that movie would be terrible. So get out there and vote like your sanity depends on it. Because, well, it kinda does.